Welcome to Gray Matter Reports. Today we decode the complex reality of events that unfold around us. The room is cold, sterile. White walls reflect the harsh light above, illuminating a table cluttered with files. Each dossier is a universe unto itself, each subject a puzzle, waiting for resolution. The air is thick with the scent of antiseptic and the weight of unspoken narratives. In this space, emotions are stripped bare, reduced to raw data. Each profile is an intricate tapestry woven from fibers of behavior, genetics, and circumstance. A life dissected by clinical precision. The dispassionate examination of the human psyche unfolds, revealing how neural pathways navigate the labyrinth of morality and impulse. An antisocial profile emerges, drawn from the interplay of environmental stimuli and biological evidence. Childhood traumas etched into the brain like scars on skin. Social isolation, a breeding ground for distorted perceptions. The subject exists in a realm where empathy is merely an abstract concept, a ghost haunting the periphery of their consciousness. Neuroscience provides a roadmap, a glimpse into the machinery of the mind. Areas of the brain light up like constellations, each firing neuron a whisper of deeper truths. The amygdala, the seat of fear and aggression, dances erratically in the presence of perceived threats. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning, falters under the weight of impulsivity. This is not mere speculation, it is a clinical reality. The mind is a complex system, a fragile ecosystem where emotions should thrive but often wither. The individual becomes an enigma, a riddle that defies simple categorization. The machinery of thought, both biological and social, spins a web of motives that are often anything but straightforward. Yet, within this clinical analysis lies a thread of somber recognition. There is a quiet empathy for those who walk this treacherous path, ensnared by the very impulses that define them. It is a cold understanding, devoid of warmth but rich in insight. Compassion does not reside here, but understanding does. Patterns emerge, revealing the interplay of external influences and internal chaos. Each case conclusion a testament to the complexity of human existence. In this narrative, the subjects are not defined by their actions, but by the intricate dance of neurons and synapses. They are reflections of a larger truth, a testament to the fragility of the human condition, captured through the lens of affective neuroscience. The stories unfold, one after another, a somber procession of lives intertwined with despair and longing. Each revelation brings us closer, yet the distance remains. Here, empathy is clinical, and understanding is the only solace. The subject sat in the sterile room, a clinical observation chamber where emotions were stripped away. A single light bulb flickered overhead, casting shadows across the blank walls. This was a space designed for detachment, yet the weight of the individual's presence was palpable. The air held a charged silence, thick with the unspoken stories of a mind that had diverged sharply from societal norms. Neuroscience posits that human behavior is often a reflection of neural pathways forged through experience. In this case, the subject exhibited signs of an antisocial profile, a labyrinth of cognition that twisted empathy into a distant concept. Brain scans revealed a marked deficiency in areas associated with emotional regulation, particularly the prefrontal cortex. Here, the very architecture of morality was compromised, rendering compassion a foreign language. Each gesture, every lack of eye contact, painted a picture of emotional disconnection. Observers noted that while the subject engaged in conversation, an unsettling absence of affect lingered. Words flowed easily, but the undertone of manipulation echoed beneath the surface. This was not a mere dialogue. It was a performance, rehearsed and precise. The facade of normalcy crumbled under scrutiny, exposing a mind that operated like a machine, devoid of warmth. The subject's history was a timeline marked by escalating behaviors. Childhood incidents of aggression were not isolated events, but rather precursors to a more complex psychological tapestry. Neuroimaging revealed hyperactivity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, responding not to fear, but to the thrill of control. Such findings suggest that what might elicit fear in others became an adrenaline-fueled motivation for this individual. In a world governed by affective responses, the subject's inability to connect provided a chilling insight into the human psyche. The absence of empathy, rather than a sign of weakness, served as a calculated strength. This revelation elucidated a critical juncture in understanding criminal profiles, where biological evidence meets the dark recesses of human experience. As the session concluded, observers noted the subtle shift in the subject's demeanor. The mask slipped, revealing a flicker of something resembling vulnerability, but it was ephemeral. The moment was an illusion, a fleeting glimpse into a world uninhabited by genuine emotion. The case concluded not with resolution, but with an unsettling reminder. Understanding the mind is often a double-edged sword, revealing both the intricacies of the human condition and the abyss of its absence. The mind of an individual on the fringes of societal norms operates like a complex machine, each cog interlocking in unsettling precision. The psychological bridge connecting empathy and its absence stands as a paradox, a chasm that must be navigated with clinical scrutiny. Affective neuroscience provides the tools, mapping emotional responses with the same rigor as one would chart the stars. Imagine two paths diverging in a dense forest. On one, the scent of pine mingles with the warmth of sunlight. On the other, shadows stretch long, hinting at a cold and unwelcoming terrain. This duality exists within the neurological frameworks of antisocial profiles. While one path leads to an understanding of shared humanity, the other spirals into isolation, devoid of emotional resonance. The amygdala, a small almond-shaped cluster deep within the brain, serves as the emotional processing center, a gatekeeper of feelings. In individuals who exhibit antisocial tendencies, this gate often remains locked, inhibiting the flow of empathy. The result? A cognitive dissonance that creates a facade of normalcy, masking the stark reality of emotional detachment. Consider the case of subject 112, whose interactions with others revealed a chilling absence of affect. Psychological evaluations indicated a pronounced underactivity in the amygdala, suggesting a diminished capacity for empathy. Observers noted that while subject 112 could articulate social norms, the execution of these norms felt mechanical, as if rehearsed and devoid of genuine understanding. This dissonance serves as a psychological bridge, one that leads to a distorted perception of human connection. The insidious nature of this detachment can be likened to a phantom limb. It is there, but the sensations are muted, disconnected from reality. Brain scans reveal a stark contrast between subject 112 and a neurotypical individual. Where one shows vibrant activity in response to emotional stimuli, the other remains eerily quiet. The emotional landscape is a barren wasteland, devoid of the lush foliage that characterizes empathy. As forensic analysts piece together the narrative of such individuals, they confront the unsettling truth. The absence of empathy does not equate to a lack of intelligence. These individuals often exhibit high cognitive functioning, capable of intricate planning and manipulation. This juxtaposition creates a chilling portrait, where the mind operates efficiently, yet the emotional landscape remains desolate. In the final analysis, the psychological bridge remains a stark reminder of the complexities of the human condition. It beckons researchers and practitioners alike to tread carefully, to understand that the mind's mechanisms can be as intricate as they are cold. The path to understanding is fraught with challenges, a journey through shadows where empathy's light struggles to penetrate. The analysis begins in the sterile confines of the laboratory. Screens flicker with data points, the hum of machinery punctuating the atmosphere. A subject's neural pathways lay bare, dissected for the purpose of understanding the intricacies of their psyche. Each scan reveals more than mere biological evidence. It unveils the architecture of emotion itself. In the world of affective neuroscience, the brain operates like a complex map. Regions light up in response to stimuli, emotions morphing into electrical impulses. The amygdala, often labeled as the emotional center, reacts with alarming speed. It is here that visceral responses are born. Yet, this very structure can betray the subject, misfiring in a way that renders empathy a foreign concept. Take, for instance, the case of an individual whose profile reflects a profound dissonance. They navigate social interactions with an unsettling calm, a veneer of normalcy belying deeper neural discord. Their prefrontal cortex, responsible for regulating emotions, shows marked underactivity. The result? A disconnect between thought and feeling, reasoning devoid of warmth. In clinical terms, this is not merely a failure of emotion. It is a fracture within the self. An individual might exhibit an outwardly charming demeanor, yet their internal landscape is barren, a desert of emotional desolation. To the untrained eye, they are engaging. To the trained observer, they are a puzzle, each piece meticulously crafted yet devoid of the essence that binds humanity together. Neuroscience posits that empathy is a learned trait, a mosaic shaped by experiences, relationships, and the subtleties of human interaction. Yet for some individuals, this mosaic remains incomplete. Scans reveal diminished mirror neuron activity, a critical component for empathic resonance. They are witnesses to the world, but remain incapable of emotional engagement. As the case concludes, data coalesces into a somber narrative. Each statistic tells a story of isolation, a plea for understanding lost in translation. The individual is not merely a profile. They are a reflection of human potential stifled by biological constraints. The findings resonate within the walls of academia, a disquieting reminder of the complexities of the human condition. Emotionless empathy remains a paradox, an exploration into the depths of what it means to feel or not to feel at all. In this realm of cold clinical observation, the heartache is palpable, yet it remains shrouded in the language of science. Each case, a testament to the unfathomable intricacies of the human mind, invites further inquiry into the shadows that linger just beneath the surface. The landscape of criminal psychology extends beyond borders. Across continents, the same patterns emerge. Antisocial profiles resonate like echoes in the dark, revealing the complexities of the human mind. This is not merely an American phenomenon. It is a global affliction. In Europe, researchers delve into the intricate web of societal influences that shape behavior. They examine a tapestry woven from history, culture, and economics. In this clinical dissection, the mind is both a canvas and a battleground. It is within these frameworks that the biological evidence of affective neuroscience comes into focus. What drives an individual to the brink? Asia presents a different narrative. Here, the interplay between familial expectations and individual identity creates a unique pressure cooker. The results can be devastating. Neuroscientific studies indicate that the amygdala, the brain's emotional center, functions differently under various cultural contexts. The disparity in emotional regulation manifests in behaviors that often baffle Western observers. Meanwhile, the Americas grapple with the legacy of violence as a form of expression. The streets pulse with an undercurrent of aggression. Neurotransmitters dance in response to stimuli, shaping the antisocial profile. It is a reaction to environmental factors, a symptom of societal disarray. The brain adapts, sometimes maladaptively, to its surroundings. Africa offers another lens, one steeped in colonial histories and modern inequities. Emotional detachment becomes a survival mechanism. The brain's capacity for empathy is tested against the harsh realities of life. In some instances, the individual learns to mask emotional responses, creating a facade that belies inner turmoil. As our understanding deepens, one truth remains. Emotionless empathy is a paradox. It is a clinical observation that elicits profound questions. How does one reconcile the disconnect between feeling and action? The global perspective allows us to see that the mechanisms of the mind are not isolated phenomena. They are interconnected threads in the tapestry of humanity. This intricate mapping of affective neuroscience across cultures highlights a universal struggle. The criminal profile is not a mere collection of data points. It is a reflection of the human condition itself. A case conclusion may reveal the surface, but the depths of the psyche remain shadowed. The challenge lies in uncovering these layers to understand not just the actions of individuals, but the very essence of what it means to be human. In the end, the emotionless empathy of the global landscape serves as a reminder. We are all products of our environments, shaped by the unseen forces of culture and history. The forensics of our minds are only beginning to be understood, and the journey ahead is fraught with complexity. The courtroom was a crucible of anticipation. A collective breath hung in the air, weighted by the gravity of the moment. Each person present, from the jurors to the onlookers, seemed to embody an unspoken question. What defines culpability in the mind of the individual? As the judge entered, the room shifted subtly. The gavel struck, an echo reverberating through a space designed for justice, yet haunted by uncertainty. The defendant, an individual whose life had spiraled into chaos, sat motionless. Observers noted the tension in his posture, the slight twitch of an eye, subtle indicators of a mind wrestling with its own narratives. The prosecutor rose first, a master of rhetoric. Words flowed like a calculated stream, painting a portrait of an antisocial profile. This was no ordinary case. It was a study in emotional detachment, a case where the biological evidence spoke louder than any testimony. Neural pathways, once vibrant, had dulled under the weight of trauma and neglect. The prosecutor's voice, though steady, carried the somber undertones of a clinician diagnosing a profound disorder. Then came the defense. A soft-spoken expert in affective neuroscience took the stand. His presence was calm, almost clinical. He spoke of the brain's architecture, of synapses that failed to connect in predictable ways. The audience listened as he illustrated the intricacies of emotional regulation, or the lack thereof. Empathy was not a trait, but a complex interplay of biology and environment. The individual had been shaped by forces beyond his control, a vessel adrift in a sea of emotional disconnection. The defense argued not for acquittal, but for understanding. What if the individual was a product of his circumstances? What if the decisions made were not entirely his own? The room absorbed this notion, a heavy silence settling like a shroud. The jury appeared conflicted, grappling with the dichotomy of human agency versus biological determinism. As the deliberation began, time stretched. Each tick of the clock echoed like a heartbeat, a reminder of the weight of their task. Outside the courtroom, life continued unperturbed. Yet within those walls, the implications of the final verdict loomed large. Would justice be served, or would it succumb to the complexities of the human condition? In the end, it was not just a verdict on the individual, but a reflection of society's understanding of morality, responsibility, and the intricate web of neuroscience. The gavel would strike again, sealing the fate of not just one life, but challenging the very essence of what it means to be human.